Hi again, YouTube. I hope you're doing okay. Not much longer here from my last video, but I wanted everybody to realize what where we go one, we go all. I had told you before in the past, there was an oath that the fallen angels took that they would stay together um, against God, and that's what that where we go one we go all, that's demonic. The same with mega. The word mega is demon. It's not make America great again. It's make sure America gives almost everything. How's that? And then I ran across a friend who wrote this: do not trust all these celebrities that have supposedly turned to God and removed their satanic allegiance. Don't be naive. They are there to deceive you and infiltrate the truther community. If you follow them blindly, they will drag you back into the wrong side without you realizing it. Controlled opposition. That is definitely what is going on with all of them. There is no two wings to the same bird. We all know that is true. So just, just beware of everything, is what I'm basically saying, um, because it is very true. Here's one: those who are good at connecting dots, you are needed because the vast majority of the population is horrible at it. Very true. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so I thought I'd get on here. I was getting uh a phone call. Our tractor broke down right by the road, and the guy who fixes it, he was calling. He had forgot about it actually and is going to come and pick it up, but he was trying to call Doug, and I was doing that video about the people in Congress. So I wanted to finish doing my video because I figured, well, whoever that was, they could wait. So, yeah. Um, but yeah, and then when it kept ringing, I thought, well, it's probably them. I figured, and if they're going to pick it up, just pick it up. But anyway, so they are. But yeah, Doug just got it fixed and it broke down again. So I think, like, oh, not the starter, something else he said. Maybe nothing too, or maybe it was something extreme. I guess I'll have to listen closer next time because he told me I might have been busy or tired or whatever, but it didn't hit. He knows too, and I know when he's not quite listening to me, I know it, and then I'll have to repeat something. I do the same thing. In fact, I never used to, but I kind of started doing it by habit, actually. Like, okay, whatever you said, you know. I'm trying not to do that as much right now because I don't know if it's going to help the world, but it just might. But he hasn't been drinking for, oh, at least a couple weeks, maybe going on 3. And things are more peaceful around here. Not extremely, but more than it was. So, um, which could in turn help the whole world. because we're all connected and, you know. But really, my concerns, why I got back on here, was to make people aware, yes, Christians are already being persecuted all over the world. It isn't like we're waiting for something in the scriptures to happen, because it is happening. They're making it happen. And I don't believe that any true Christian would actually be a part of any kind of violence. So if you see any kind of, like at these rallies or different things that they're doing, and they're trying to say it's like a person like you or I or somebody, that's not who it would be, because we wouldn't do that type of thing. Our voices might be strong and they might get loud, and I might even talk vile if I'm upset, but that's a far cry from destroying property or hurting another human being. That's something that just I will not do. So, and I think you feel the same way about that. Hopefully, the only time you would is to defend yourself or the ones that you love, you know. So, I just wanted to make it really clear that they are going to try and implement the one world police and the one world government and the one world religion, and that is their ulterior motive that I'm fighting against with all my might. And I hope you feel the same way, because it doesn't matter what religion you choose to be in America. We have the right to be whoever we want to be. We have the right to say whatever we want to say. As long as we aren't physically doing harm to another person. If I call you Bozo the flippin' clown, I'm not hurting you physically. Here's a tissue. Get over it, you know? You want to call me something? Oh, boo hoo. I'll live. So will you. Stop letting these clowns control us like they're the ones who are portraying everybody in America like we're fighting against each other. And we're not even doing that. They're trying to take our freedom of speech, by making it so people on platforms like this can't even talk like adults. None of my videos are made for children, ever. So whatever I say are falling on adult ears, then you can decide for yourself what you want to hear and what you want to like and what you don't want to like. But to have that taken away from us is criminal and it's treasonous. It's like I wrote on Facebook, the owner of this platform and the fact checkers need to be charged with treason. I would say more, what did I write? Charged, or not just charged. They are guilty of treason. They need to be found treasonous, I wrote. I think it's time for the owner and the fact checkers on this platform to be tried for treason. And then I have hashtag freedom of speech, you know. And that goes for this platform or any other platform that works in the United States of America. If you're going to be a part of our society, do it like our society does. We're adults here. We can talk as adults without getting butt hurt. Isn't that right? Or any other part of our body. shouldn't get hurt from anything that somebody says to us, you know? And it's a big deal. I mean, you might not even want to read the Bible, but do you want it so it's taken out of our society where it's illegal to own one? I mean, for God's sakes, they changed. You can't even get Dr. Zeus in a elementary school. I mean, for God's sakes, one of my favorite books was Green Eggs and Ham. Same with Doug. That was like freaking 70 years ago. And now, like all these decades, and we're not violent people. We don't hurt people. We help people. So, what's Dr. Zeus's little poems? Oh, I suppose the green eggs were somehow racist. And who would care if it said yellow eggs and ham? You know, do you see my point? A children's book is being silenced. That was just the beginning to implement the rest of what they're trying to do. And that's the step before communism, Marxism, changing the words, taking the books away, banning religions, all the stuff that they are trying to do to us. Still, have any of you look up Leonard Nimoy in 1970? He had a commercial telling everybody how the earth was freezing over and we were all going to be freezing to death in 2020, I think he said, or somewhere thereabouts. It's just interesting. Um, Not to mention anything about weather or anything, but nothing has changed. I have a Facebook memory from 11 years ago. I'll read it to you. It is 34 degrees today here. Um, I'm going to read you what I wrote over a decade ago to give you some idea of what I'm talking about in a moment here. It'll take me a while to pull it up because it was one of my very last memories on here. Pulling up, pulling up. Getting there, I think. Almost. I gotta wait for it to pull up. Just kind of interesting because I can document what the weather is in my area all those years ago, and no matter what they say, they can't change what my temperature gauge says right now today. No matter what they want to try and say, it doesn't take away from the facts. Let's see, getting there. Yeah, still scrolling. It is interesting. I just saw what the temperature was. I didn't read what I actually had written on that day, but we'll see. I'm to 7 years ago now. Still scrolling. Getting there, getting there. I think, unless it was 7. No. No. because it's irritating. I do hate liars, and when you can prove stuff and all people have to do is go look up Leonard Nimoy and excuse me, 1970. Okay, it's 34 degrees right now. This was 9 years ago. Hello, everyone. It's a cloudy day around 40. I'm pretty sure, spirit considering, I feel like smacking a half a dozen or more phony people. One only talks to men, a married woman. One talks about 2 out of 3. One talks about 2 out of 3 daughters, so on. But peace to all. Well, I was talking about my family. My mother had a tendency to talk to a couple of her kids and not like the ones that were speaking up against her narcissistic ways and her lewd behavior and that type of stuff. So, yeah. But 40 degrees. Yeah. Just documenting it. Oh, 7 years ago, being Christ-like is not all fluffy. 15 things Christ said that weren't nice, and the language was cleaned up over 2,000 years. What would he say and do today in modern English? Also, there's more to know, but here goes. There's Matthew 1 7 6, 2 10:34 through 36, Mark 9:32, Luke 4:16 through or 16:18, John 15:6, Matthew 6:5-8, Matthew 7:9, 19:4 through 6. And there's Luke and Matthew, more Mark, there's John's, and I have even more worse. Here are examples of Christ-like. Enjoy. See, because if you have God in your heart, and that is why you are angry, a little or a lot is called for. This is not he said, she said game, damn it. It is your soul, and it is your souls of your offsprings. And don't ever let anyone walk all over you. It's not allowed. Got your King James ready? God bless your Easter. He isn't coming back to teach this time. Don't you get it? I love you more than you know. I don't ever give up. It's something I wrote 7 years ago. I got all kinds of scriptures where Christ wasn't very nice, like calling people dogs and dung, and, you know, it's true. Everybody thinks that he was like, oh, like such a sweetie Petey and whatever. I love this one by William Shakespeare. I did share this today. You say you love the rain, but you open your umbrella when it rains. You say you love the sun, but you find a shadow spot when the sun shines. You say you love the wind, but you close your window when the wind blows. That's why I'm afraid. You say you love me too, or why I am afraid when you say you love me too. William Shakespeare. And a lot of people think that maybe Shakespeare might even had a hand in writing some of the scriptures. Wouldn't doubt it, especially like with the King James and the Old English. I like it anyway. you know. But yeah, just kind of looking at my memories. I didn't look at them all. I just kind of scrolled through. I okay, but anyway, yeah, here's one 6 years ago. In the end, you'll know who's fake and who's true, and who will risk it all for you. Yep. So, yeah, and just keep in mind they're gonna try and paint all Christians like radical, uh, how they actually feel, and this is typical with people that are mentally insane. They have a tendency to call you what they are. Like if a cheater thinks you're cheating, well, that's from their perspective because that's who they are. Or a liar will think you might be a liar because that's who they are and that's what they know. That type of thing. Same with a thief. They may think everybody steals. I don't know. But just from a realistic viewpoint, oh, this is what Doug wrote to Bill Gates. Evil son of a bleep. This is what happens when you freaking. Okay, wait, I gotta pull it up. Okay, it's kind of long. When you freaking richest person in the world, and that isn't enough. You need to eliminate the majority of the populations so you can accumulate their personal wealth and eliminate them as emitting carbon dioxide, you little ugly. Excuse my language, he said. You make Adolf Hitler look like a choir boy. I'm sorry you'll think your plan will work. Guess what? If I had a effing brain in my head, I sure wouldn't spend all the quadrillions to build underground utopias. Guess where all the from all our dead bodies will be draining into you? You are one dumb. And guess what? The entire world has already found out the truth. Now, thanks to the worldwide internet that the military invented to control the effing world, goodbye to all the elite, and you make Mr. King of the blood drinkers. Yeah, come and get me, Bill. I'll be right here waiting. Oh, by the way, your time of rule is now over. And he's got a bunch of ha ha ha's and bye bye byes. And yes, your little creepy crawlers are now banned from God's green earth. No place to hide now, Billy Bob. Now, that kind of says a lot, huh? That was 3 years ago. I've got this one and I shared it, and I'll probably, if I don't get cut off, I'll try and read it quick enough. Eating habits of shit. People I know have giant issues with them eating and not washing your hands. Isn't that correct, family? The whole world around me is sticking your fingers in your mouth, grabbing everything in sight, doors, foods, kids, pets, etc., while the food breaks down into feces, E. coli, and salmonella, and more. Without a care in the world, you pass germs onto the money, mail, and meat. Now you're all washing your hands inside your home like there's no tomorrow for a less transmittable virus and less deadly than the common cold or flu or above mentioned illnesses. How about you people that scratch dead skin cells from your head and walk around touching everything or other body parts? And so now you're worried, right? Sorry to inform you, I'm a tiny bit ahead of you on the Kabbalistic games they play with you. Just people's eating habits are crude, let alone various other bad habits I can't mention. Stay safe, LOL. I will thank you. Happy weekend, everybody. God bless you. Kindly keep your shit at home. I think that kind of says it all because, yeah, what you spread around with your fingers literally turns into feces um, everywhere and everything you touch, probably your phone, your steering wheels, and other people, your animals, your children. It's not funny. And yeah, you would probably not survive one day around me as far as that's concerned. So just thought I'd read you my eating habits of shit because that's what it turns into. And that's a fact. So check that next time you're out eating your munchies and you can't wash your hands. And watch everybody else doing it too. Just give that a thought next time you put your mask on and you're worried about breathing fresh air. So I'll leave it on that note, everybody. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.